Hello.
All right. Cool. Thank you, Gabe.
There's Dusty back and Amber's back. Okay.
All right.
Catch you soon.
All right. Take care. All right. Hello, everyone. Sorry, I am still learning how to do things. And I had to call Gabe to figure out what the ever-loving F was going on. And now I have it figured out. So, hello, Amber. Hello, Dusty.
Hello.
How the
Hey,
F?
boys. How are you?
Good, good, good. Let me turn my volume back up. Cool. All right. So, little introduction. Welcome, everyone, back to Reinventing the Tattoo. This is Let's Talk About Feelings with Robbie Ripoll, and Dusty Pitstick, and our honorary member, Amber Morgaine, who is here all the time, giving love and giving us things to talk about and share with. So, hello, all. How are you guys
Hello.
doing?
I am.
I just
fantastic.
finished. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That was my entire thought. I'm fantastic.
I was just going to say, I just finished doing every tattoo ever. So I am a little whooped, but in a good mood.
All right. All right. So every tattoo ever, like every single
Yeah.
in the whole world.
Well, we're actually closed on Mondays, but it was a girl. I've tattooed her before.
Mhm.
And I know her dad. She's a family friend sort of thing. It's her birthday. So I was like, yeah, all right. And she's like, oh, well, my cousin might want to get one too. I think we want to get the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. So then she texts me like 15 minutes before the appointment, like, actually, I think I want this. She wants her kids' names too. And like my mom and my cousin, or my mom and my aunt are still coming. That's all right still. And I was like, well, that's never been brought up to me. So fun. But they came, everybody got tattooed. They all got like multiple tattoos each. It was all tiny stuff. And they just left with just enough time for me to hop onto this. So life is good. I'm a little
Perfect.
cross-eyed, but otherwise good.
Oh yeah, dig it, dig it. Well, I have an obviously noisy baby, so I figured we'd bring him over here, and yeah, he could say hi and look at what's going on.
Look at that happiness.
Yeah. So today I was on the fence about even doing the episode due to Donna's teeth, and knowing that I might have to take care of a little cranky baby. So apologies for the cranky man, but his face is cute, so that makes up
Yes,
for
it is.
yeah, he's the best. I love this little guy, and he's so cute and so fun, and he loves being loved on, don't you? Yes, you do, even though he doesn't look like it right now. But so today Donna had 2 molars extracted, which was a really interesting situation. She has a lot of PTSD around dentistry. Really bad shit went down in Philly when she got, or Maryland, I think, when she got some teeth work done many years ago. And this dude was insane. Like, I didn't even have time to blink and the tooth was removed on the one side. Like, it was wild how fast this guy worked. The last dentist I saw work on her was like, man, you got a small mouth. This is really hard to do. Everything's so hard in your small little mouth. This guy didn't give a fuck. He went in there, he went, fucking the other side, he went, and then that was it. Like, in under 5 minutes, she had 2 teeth extracted. So it was really weird to watch. I'm still
That's how you got to do it. Quick.
dude, for real. He's an older cat and he's been doing it for a while, and they say he's about to retire sooner than later. So doing something for many, many years makes you really good at it.
Yes.
So, he definitely was really good at it. So that was cool to watch. And on the feeling side of things, it was pretty rough because Donna was a maniac most of the day yesterday. Her anxiety as we're driving in the car, big time. And it's funny because I'm the guy that knows these things, right? But when it comes to my home relationship, it's so much easier to not understand these things. So like, we were cooking yesterday and I noticed she was just being fucking a lot, like all day long, just like going in on shit. And I'm like, dude, just because you're stressed out doesn't mean you got to fucking kill everyone around you. And she's like, you know how I am. You know me. You know I'm scared. And it was like really cool to have that moment of understanding with her.
Yeah.
Like I'm not good at that all the time. Usually I'm like, why? What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you being a dick? And like yesterday I was able to like just acknowledge like, oh, I see you're being a dick because of this. Do you want to stop that now? Or like, can you tell me how to help you? So that was an interesting part of my journey in relational studies with my spouse. So yeah, it was interesting. It was cool. It was weird. And now she's got her teeth out and she's sleeping on the couch because the medicine she took to calm her nerves didn't kick in until after we left.
After.
And so now she's just like dead to the world. So yeah, the little man is over here saying, look at me. I think he's having fun trying to figure out like how he's looking at himself because he really
Yeah.
enjoys himself. Yeah. So what's going on in the lives of y'all today?
That's it.
Nothing big.
Hectic. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a hectic weekend. My aunt is moving in with us at the end of the week, so a lot of preparation.
Okay. And you've got a few grandkids living there too?
Yes.
So you got a full house.
Yes, my dad is here, my daughter with her 3 kids, me, and now my aunt.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, never a dull moment then, huh?
No, it isn't. This bedroom of mine is my sanctuary.
Okay. Okay. I dig it. And then work, of course, the tattoo
Yes.
shop always is a place to enjoy getting away, it seems.
Yeah, I agree. Whenever I'm tattooing, everything else goes away.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens, doesn't it? It's odd. Tattooing was one of the only things that took my pain away when I was going through my amputation. Well, after the amputation, when I would get really, really gnarly phantom pains, that was the only thing like that would really just take it all away. I just tattoo, and if it came up every so often, I'd be like, ooh, all right, let me take a quick second. All right, let's get back to work. But speaking of getting back to work, I've been tattooing a lot more lately, and that's been cool. And when I say a lot more, I say like 2 days a week. But like from no days a week, it was
2 days a week is a lot.
yeah, well, it's great because it's like it's weird too, because I do this stuff and then other rad movement and other rad academy stuff throughout the week. And then Friday and Saturday come up and I tattoo, and then Sunday I just kind of do nothing. And so like it's really weird how my life is kind of sectioned off in things. And it's kind of cool because I always know like, all right, strap up for the weekend because you're gonna go and work and your body's gonna hurt and all that. But it's always a nice time. And it always gives me a lot of time to exercise throughout the week and not stress so much about getting to the gym all the time. So it's really nice. And this guy is a friggin' wiggle worm. Yes, you are. Yeah. Oh, look at that face. Yeah, it's fun. We set up his room more so recently, and I've been going in there with him. I'm playing with toys and watching be silly. Man, having a kid is a really weird time when you're older. It's like, it's so much cooler.
Yeah. I love watching them come into their personality.
Yep. I mean, I got this guy over here. He's 21, so he's doing his own thing in his own different way. So having this little guy and that big guy, it's been an interesting ride. So yeah. So what are we going to talk about today, kids? What do we got on the table? Any pressing issues, Amber?
Everything's good.
I know, isn't that weird?
Look at that. Okay, let's talk about
I am fantastic.
Why does it feel weird when things are fantastic?
Because
She's waiting for that other shoe to drop.
Yes, shit is always going wrong.
Yeah. See, the thing is, if you look at the history of it, right, there's always ups and downs. Why can we expect the downs, but we can't accept the ups?
I think it's because it's such a disappointment when you're in and up and the down comes.
Well, why does it have to be a disappointment?
I know, but
You know what
that's
I'm
what it
saying?
is.
And that's what I'm saying. Why can't we just drive the car knowing that we're gonna fucking hit some bumps and it's gonna be all right later? Like that's the weird thing. Like, and that's kind of part of my practice as life comes, the older I get. Yeah. Just like expecting and accepting. And I think accepting those moments we don't like is difficult. Like I always, I don't know if it happens to you guys, but when I'm tattooing, always the music speaks to me.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you know, like you're sitting there and you're like, don't talk to me like that song. Yeah. There's this one Bumpin' Uglies song, and he always goes, I'm happiest when I'm struggling. And like when I'm tattooing and that hits me, I'm like, shut up, dude. Don't fucking tell me that. Because when you think
Yeah.
about it, like, yeah, we're happy outside of the struggle, but like it's almost like we not only welcome the struggle, but we desire it so much that we can't appreciate the good.
Yeah. I
With the
think
good,
subconsciously we know the struggle makes us better.
Mm.
I appreciate the good. The good is boring.
This is a good point.
I almost made him spit his water out.
Did you see that? I
When there's
dropped the
fires-
cap.
when there's you know, when you're a busybody like I am, and I know that you are, like when there's no fires to put out and nothing needs addressed and tattoos are going smooth and everyone's in a good mood and it's just going chill, you know, you finish tattooing, it's like 7 and it's like, what the fuck do I do now? You know, and it's not to say that we don't all hopefully have friends and family and loved ones and things you want to get into, but it's so weird after I'm coming down from like a 4-year straight high of like, I think up until this point, we're almost at the end of the year, maybe like 12 legitimate days off, like the whole year
Really?
that weren't like, well, so and so wants to get tattooed, I'll go in or whatever. And it's so like peaceful. A perfect example is like when all the quarantine stuff and we were shut down, I would wake up, make an awesome breakfast, jog 5 miles, get design work done, reach out to friends I haven't talked to in ages, like watch a TV show. Like I would do all this stuff and have like a really rich, full, productive day and be like, man, that was an awesome day. I really handled a lot, and look down and it would be like 2 p.m. And I'm like, well, fuck, what now? Okay. And I think like that's kind of the side effect of the good side. Like that byproduct is just that unless you're the sort of person that can just veg on the couch, you're kind of like, okay, things are good. What do I do? And unfortunately, I've thankfully grown out of this habit. I know some other people that still struggle with it. A lot of times it's like, well, if I create bad, then I have a mess to fix. And people almost get afraid of things going good and are just like, how can I burn this all down?
Yeah.
So I'm thankfully glad to not be in that phase since my early 20s, but I do know a lot of people that do. And everybody deals with that like boredom of the good in their own way.
It's funny that you say boredom of the good. It's I don't know if y'all watched that Queen movie about Freddie Mercury and Queen.
Yeah.
The guy that played Freddie Mercury, I remember at one point he was like, you know, it's the in between for me, and I have a hard time with. And it's like you said, you know, in between either chaos or good, you know, there's this lull that happens. And a lot of us can't handle the lull. And I've been noticing a lot more lately with Zen, like today when I'm not going to ask Donna to do anything. So, you know, it's like, all right, my job is take care of the baby. And, you know, my brain goes to Instagram and it goes to this and it goes to that. And it's like, what can I do? It's like, you can't do anything, man, because he's going to smack the phone out of your hand. He's going to start crying. Like he's your focus. So focus on him, make him the task.
I really do have that exact same issue with my cat.
You know, hopefully your cat isn't as hands-on as Zen is.
If I try to open the phone up at all once I'm in bed or on the couch, the cat will just headbutt it right out and just like, meow, meow.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool to have those reminders from the universe in form of baby or cat or whatever it is that reminds you to
Mm,
stop dicking off, because like you're supposed to be enjoying this moment right now. Actually, it's really cool that we're all like in a good spot and don't have anything to bitch about or fix, because like it gives us a new topic.
yeah,
you know
I'm so looking forward to Thursday. I fly to Tampa, tattoo
Yeah.
with you guys,
Mhm.
go to Universal Monday, fly back Tuesday, immediately start driving to Atlanta, do the Pit Row convention. And I'm like, cool, 10 days of chaos, good chaos, tattoo chaos, profitable chaos, but like, yay, chaos. So the next 2 or 3 days are just like, that's my task at hand that I'm like, okay, come soon.
Right.
Give
Well,
me something to do.
hence why you didn't mind doing all the tattoos in the world today, because you're like, okay, cool. This portion of my day is eaten up. And then, when you saw that that Donna had her teeth removed, you messaged me, and you were probably like, okay, fuck. Now I'm gonna have that next hour to not filled, like. So it's cool, like filling the time, and that's kind of the thing with spending time with him. Filling my time with Zen time is totally different than filling my time with busy work.
yeah,
Because and Amber, with the grandkids and stuff, and your kids, I'm sure you too, like
yeah,
when you take time to spend with them, like that's your job. Like
yes,
he makes me nap all the time, and now it's gotten to the point where I'm like, all right, let's go nap, dude. And he's like, nope, I'm still pissed. So like you have to find out why he's pissed, change his diaper, feed him, play with him. And sometimes he doesn't want to play with the toys himself. He wants to like have you play with the toys. And sometimes you just have to talk to him. And sometimes he just hollers and makes noises just because he's a baby. And
he
that's what,
likes the sound of his voice. He's found a
yeah.
voice.
So it's so interesting that like that is the work some days.
Hmm.
Because the work is so much. Okay, what do I got to do on my computer? What do I got to do on the phone? What do I got to do on social media? What art do I got to address? Like, how many things do I have to do? And it's like, it's so weird to like slow yourself down. And that's one of the things I've been saying about him since he came. Like, he's taught me so much how to slow down, how to relax, how to focus on what's important. And that's him. And that's Donna. And that's Jaden. And that's like hanging out at the house. And like so much so that I got fucked up in the head thinking like, I don't want to work at all anymore. And then I was like, well, that's too boring. That's too crazy for me to not work. So it's been a very interesting ride to you want to give him back again? So like figure out this balance of how to do life in a good state.
Yeah.
Like one of my friends who helps me with my crypto stuff, he sent out a message today. Wow. And imagining like that the crypto is going to go up again, and like my mutual funds investments are going to go up again. Like it's just really weird seeing that like the market's going to do something different again rather than be tanked. And
Yeah.
then like, oh wow. So then I can kind of live off those things if I don't want to work. Maybe a bobble. And so like it's interesting seeing my brain and the patterns I go through, specifically regarding money. Because it's okay, I've got enough money, I'm good. And then as you get to your safe dollar amount, because we all have a safe dollar amount in our accounts.
Yeah.
And like, and it's gone up for me over the years. And so now like my safe dollar amount, when I hit that safe dollar amount and it goes below that, I still find myself in a tailspin. And I think, like Dusty said, I think that's kind of like the chaos that I'm creating.
Yeah.
When you look at the history is money is always there for us. Even if we go broke, even if we go in the negative, it always comes back.
Yes.
But like, one of my patterns is always, oh, money's looking a little scarce. Let me freak the fuck out. And then now I'll feel okay when the money comes again.
Yeah.
So it's been really weird being in a spot. One of my coaches told me the other day, he's like, dude, you have everything you need. Everything you need is with you right now, right here. And like settling into that concept, I have all the love I need. I have all the money I need. I have all the safety I need. I have all the stability I need. Like we just lost a lot of artists at the shop over the past bunch of months. Yeah, just do 4 scoops of holly in that one and 4 ounces. So we lost a bunch of artists, and now we're getting back to a point where we've hired so many new artists that it's going to have to be like sharing stations at some point.
Nice.
And it's weird. It's weird when you go through that, and you see the dip go back into a spike. And then if you look at the history of it, the dips and spikes are they're there all the time.
Yeah.
And you can be okay with that. That's settling into the comfort of not having the chaos, or at least just accepting the chaos that is and being cool with it. What?
I think that's kind of the state I'm in at the moment. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Thing of fit about it is not going to help me any. Because we're not really ready for my aunt to come. There's still more work to do. There's going to be more work to do when she gets here. We'll work it all out.
Yeah. Would you ever really be ready for something like that?
No.
Exactly. So like, it's going to happen either way. You can either stress about it, or you can choose to be like, look, this is happening whether, I'm ready or not. I may as well have fun with it.
My daughter is freaking out, but she's 25. I'm 46. I have much less fucks left to give.
Right, exactly. And you've got a deeper history of making it through shit.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I thought Donna was stressing about travel because, she was going through all the things in her head. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I'm getting my teeth done, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do all the blah, blah, blah. And I was like, dude, here's the thing, you're freaking out. And then once you calm down, don't worry, I'll pick it up and I'll start fucking travel stressing. So Don't worry about it. And like knowing that that's part of my pattern, I feel like when the travel stress does come, I'll be able to identify it more. And it's weird because I watched this movie, The Good Dinosaur, the other day, and they talked a lot about fear, right? Well, so I use Zen as an excuse to watch movies, like cartoons all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
So like we turned this movie on. Actually, Jaden was watching it with him the other night. And I was like, oh, this is cute. I thought it was a short. Let me watch this movie. And the big thing is they went into this, what's up? It was so fucking sad. Dude, like even the happy moments were fucking sad. It really sucked. It was a great movie, but it was fucking hard. But the big thing was being scared. Arlo was like the main character. He was this little dinosaur and he was scared of everything. And like all the big dudes in his life explained to him how to like do things and still be scared. Yeah. And so it's kind of interesting thinking and relating that to real life. And if you want to bring a chair and sit in, dude, you've always got good perspectives too. But it was interesting because it's kind of like what I said about the history. When you look at the history of all the things you've done that you were afraid of, that you've overcome, like your history is 100% fucking success through all those things. So as you get older, you have the history of, oh, I did this scared and I did it anyway. I did this, worried and I did it anyway. And all these things that you've made it through. So it's almost like how I said in class, one of the first times, Dusty, about journaling a lot. After journaling a year every day, you've got all this data about yourself. Now, if you look back at all the data you've got on your life, I've made it through all these fucking things. So why can't I just sit here and coast for a minute and enjoy the ride when things are perfect and where things are fantastic? So it's interesting looking at how hard it is to be okay with things being fantastic.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just look at how much you've made it through. And just be like, okay, cool. If I really want struggle, it's around the fucking corner
Yeah,
anyway.
it'll find me.
It's
Like-
the takeaway from every dinosaur cartoon is we're all gonna get hit by a comet anyway. So like,
Yeah.
it's coming. Fuck it.
Dude, for real. And like, the market, I just started investing in stocks and things. And my financial advisor has shown me the graph of the market since it started. And there's ups and downs, but it's on a constant upswing. It's always going up. So if we look at life the same fucking way, there's ups and downs, but if you do it the right way, you're always going to be going up.
Mm.
And so that's just kind of cool knowing that if you allow it, you'll always be going up. Things will always be on the up and up. Things will always be going good, reasonable, well enough. And then you're going to get hit by a comet at some point and then have to clean up about it. Like you ain't moving in. You're never going to be fucking okay. You're never going to be ready. Like having the baby. Fuck, man. Me and Donna still, we have to do a conversation on YouTube about it. Like all the things that we said to each other or in our brains that we didn't say out loud because we were afraid. At one point in time, she was saying to me, we were driving to the hospital because she had to start going to doctor's appointments and couldn't have the baby at a birthing center because she had elevated blood sugars. And she's like, I've run into problem after problem after problem in the last bit. We don't have a name for him. And this is where it got hard. She goes, maybe he just wasn't supposed to be here. Maybe I'm just going to miscarry at the end. Maybe he's going to stillbirth. Maybe something terrible is going to fucking happen because we're not ready. The room's not ready. And everything keeps going to shit. And it was wild because that was one of those downswing times of the market.
Mm-hmm.
And then the times where I'm sitting at the fucking dinner table with him and just holding him, looking at him, crying because I can't believe how beautiful and perfect he is. Like, that's the upswing. And it's a little higher than the last time. And then it goes a little higher than the last time. And it just keeps going up and up. Now, it's not to say that the low points can't get lower than the last time, but it always is a cause and effect thing. So right now, we're all at a pretty good fucking place. I feel good. I know that my relationship with money has been repairing over the past year. I know that Donna got her teeth fucking removed today, so that's one less giant stress on us as a family. I know that Tampa's about to happen, so there's one less giant stress there. I'm gonna get tattooed on Sunday at Tampa, so that's fucking sweet dick. Like life as well. Jaden just did a concert at a kava bar. I tried kava for the first time. It was kind of like the first time I smoked pot. Nothing really happened. I thought I was gonna get like at least mellow or happy or something. Nothing. But he did a killer show, released a song that he's never performed before. Life is good. Oh, and I'm fucking booking clients at the rates that I've been afraid that people aren't gonna want to book with me at. And like it's happening in that sense.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I had a client cancel on Saturday because she was super sick. And then my buddy texted me. He's like, man, I'm depressed. I just want to tell you about it. And I was like, well, I'm free. You want to get tattooed? And he's like, fuck yeah, let's go get tattooed. So then I got to go and make money on a day I didn't think I was making money. So like things, when you allow the good to happen, it seems like it continues to happen. But that like The Secret, that book that I have tattooed on my palm, it's about the law of attraction. Like attracts like. You attract what you think. And when I'm in the downtrodden place, Amber, I know you can relate to this so much because the first couple weeks you showed up here, you were constantly battling something new. And now you're at this really cool place that's like, nah, man, I'm good. Like I'm good. And like, yeah, it'll come.
There's still shit happening, but
Right. But
I'm good.
where's your mindset been lately? Where's your focus been?
I have been manifesting positivity.
Ah, and that's so cool. So now we just talked about at the beginning, you know, how hard it is to appreciate the good and sit in it. And it's really just an old paradigm.
Yeah.
We're just used to the good being difficult. But if we like actually give ourselves time and grace to like enjoy the good and focus on the good, then the good continues to come. That's why I love this, like, you know, this whole world of giving people the goods, because it makes me focus on the goods more.
Yes.
You know, like, and Dusty last week hit me up after the show and he was like, man, it's so cool. People are like telling me that they're listening and like they're stoked about it. And I was like, yeah, that's a cool feeling. And he's like, it is. It's a little weird. I'm like, yeah, it is. But like, it's so talk about that a little bit, Dusty, like the weirdness of getting noticed for the good, right?
I think the way I had worded it is like it's weird being on the other end of that. I'm like, I'm always the one that's like, oh, fucking stressed on shit. So to have other people reach out, and that is why on my business cards it says like Dusty Pitstick, and even before tattooer it says like unlicensed therapist. I like being on that end of being able to actually. Today in the shop was really cool because Aura, who you've not got to meet her yet, she every day she's like, I'm so excited to meet Robbie, but Josh's girlfriend. She's
It's so-
phenomenal artist.
I feel like I've met her already because when I was up in Ohio, Josh was talking about her a lot. I've seen her so much on the internet. So like I'm having this hard time.
Her, like that was the perfect hand motion there. You and her are like on very, very similar wavelengths. She's really excited to meet you in Tampa. They're coming down and tattooing too. They got their own booth and all that. But she is tattooing somebody that she's from Canada, and it's someone that drove from Canada. They're on their way to Alabama anyways, and they're like, well, I want to stop in and get tattooed. So they got tattooed most of the day. They're going out to dinner with her and Josh. They're all hanging out for the night, and then she's doing another full day on them tomorrow. But it was something for her husband that passed like a year ago, and it was such a cool moment because, you know, she's getting tattooed and it was her first tattoo, and it's like she's doing a whole half sleeve to commemorate her husband just passed.
Oh, wow.
And meanwhile, I'm over here with it's a friend of mine's daughter who it's her 19th birthday. She's getting tattooed, her cousin's getting tattooed, both of their moms are now getting tattooed. And the energy, like there's this literal little divide between her and mine's booth. And it was just a little more somber at first, and then I bring these girls in, I start talking with them, tattooing. The mom of the first girl I tattooed notices Aura's client's shirt, and she's like, oh, is that from this show? They start talking about the show that they love. They start putting on music that they like and talking about music. And I think it was still a very, you know, painful and memorial thing for her, but also she's celebrating it with these people now. And Aura and I were able to just guide them all through the whole like chat about this, getting them friendly, getting this going. And all of a sudden you're just watching this thing where these people are chatting and they're helping her heal, and she's helping them be less nervous because, you know, this lady's super nervous. She got tattooed once when she's like 18, and now she's in her, you know, early 50s or whatever, and she's a little nervous. And it just, watching that energy is awesome. And I love being like a quiet facilitator of that. I can tattoo people and I can kind of ask the right questions. I mean, even when I was there tattooing that one girl that she got like an hour and a half, just like a little something. And I just had her opening it up and like, oh, you play bass. What kind of bass do you play? Oh, this, oh, that. And before you know it, she's telling me where she hid these bodies in 1982. And just getting people to open up. Like, I'm really good at just like kind of quietly doing my thing, tattooing, chatting. So to be in a position where people are actively like, you know, Medusa reached out to us earlier today, and like people hitting you up and they're like, hey, I actually listened to your thing. I have questions. I want to acknowledge you. Like the acknowledgement side of it is where it's a little like, oh, no, stay back. And I'm learning to do better with it. But it is weird to think like anytime anybody asks you for advice on anything and to fight that internal thought of like, I have nothing figured out. Why are you coming to me? with
Yeah.
this. And it was funny. Or I actually heard this quote, the girl that I tattooed, that it's her birthday. I had tattooed her before when I was working at Aisle 9 when she was like, I think her 18th birthday actually. And, you know, with the placement of the tattoo, she's just like, whatever, I trust you. I trust you with my life. And I'm like, that's your first mistake. But Aura said, like, she's like, I don't know if you've ever really noticed, but so many of your clients say that to you. And I think it really is just that you've built this rapport of trust because you'll let people say whatever and do whatever. You don't judge, you're cool, you're laid back. And I'm like, yeah, I like it when it's quiet and she can just make a joke like that and we're cool. But when it starts turning into people legitimately being like, no, I actually trust you to help me, I'm like, no, bad, get it away. So I'm learning to deal with that, but it was actually kind of cool. And when I texted you that the other day, it was like a nice moment of almost accepting it and coming to terms with it and maybe even being a little bit happy about it. Like, hey, it's kind of nice to feel like, you know, I'm 37. I'm not old, but I'm definitely not young. Maybe I've learned a thing or two and gotten to a point where, you know, I can do that and I can be helpful for someone. And, you know, the shop in Fairborn here, we've got an apprentice and I've got to chat with her and like help guide her through some stuff. And even just the littlest things, it's almost kind of nice to teach or to give knowledge or give help to someone. And I've always felt like, well, why would I do that when I have nothing figured out myself? But I might have just figured out a thing or two about life and have a little something to share now. So it's weird, but it's cool. It's fun.
Yeah. No, it is. It's odd to step into it because, like, you know, we helped usher Amber into like acknowledging that she has that, even though she knows she had it, even though it's been happening her whole life, you know, like for us to be like, yo, what do your clients actually say to you? And she's like, they fucking tell me that they love me and I'm the best and they need this and da 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 da. Dude, like, it's so wacky. Like, so my one, it's really, it's crazy, like to accept it finally. And it's weird because we forget. You know, we forget all the time that we had it figured out yesterday or last week. And sometimes it's not this brand new thing like you were just talking about, Dusty, as much as it is just remembering, hey, I had this figured out. I'm pretty good at this. You know, I do this life thing well. Like the other day, my one good friend, she it's crazy that you said that you were tattooed or that Aura was tattooing a memorial to a recent late husband, because I was tattooing one of my best friend in the world who passed away, his widow, the other day. And she plays the tough guy role, dude. She's like 4'9". So, you know, she's always constantly playing the tough guy role. And I go into the back door when I walk in the shop, like the back room door. Partially because I like having those couple extra seconds to myself, partially because sometimes I need to talk to, you know, people that work at the studio or they need to talk to me. So I walk in through the back and I ask the front desk, I'm like, where's Laura? They're like, oh, she's in your room. I was like, okay, I figured as much, but all right. So I go in there and you know my room, Dusty, how it has those pink doors that open. She's sitting in the little barber chair behind the one pink door to the right. And like, as soon as she noticed me, she hops up off the chair, fucking throws herself at me and wraps her arms around my neck and says, I had no idea how much I needed this hug, while she's like crying and shit. And dude, I've cried with this lady a lot. And it's usually more me crying. But it was really cool to see her finally crack and be like, you know, she's had a couple little moments here and there, but she was a mess today. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was cool that she had the safe space with me that she could get messy, that she could fall apart, you know. And one of the things she tells me, which is something I hear a lot from people, is I can truly be me around you. I can truly work through my shit around you. I can bring you things that other people don't understand. And the magic and beauty in that, like, it's almost like every time I forget that tattooing is more than just drawing pictures, somebody reminds me like that.
Yeah, it's a very intimate act.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Such a, if you are given a task and you complete a task, there is a reward that comes with a job well done. But it's so different between like, oh, you know, my boss at the 9 to 5 trusts me to get this report done on time, and I did it, and I did it well, and my work is excited. And there's a lot of like pride that comes with that. Even with tattooing, if you do a tattoo and you just fucking nail it, and you're like, even I'm stoked on this. As an artist, we shit on everything we do, and we want to gas up. Like you and I could do the exact same tattoo, the exact same style, exact same way, and I would look at mine and be like, man, I really fucked this up. And I'd look at yours and be like, dude, you fucking crushed it. It's just like,
yes,
that way we are. But there's still that, like,
Dude,
when you do that one tattoo, when you do that one tattoo that you're like, even I love this, like, it's a greater reward to risk in like the job well done. But like emotionally, it's such a different, you know, instead of someone trusting you to do the report or to nail that lettering tattoo, when someone's like, I trust you to like see me raw, and the reward that comes with it though, when you do hit that level of like breaking those walls and really relating with someone and giving them some sort of like actual happiness or closure or chatting with them, is like, that's a high that you can't chase with like anything else. It's just so cool to know that like they don't think you're a salesman, they don't think you're just doing something for a reason, they don't think it's, you know, the rose colored glasses. They're like, no, you see me as an actual flawed human, you still care about me, you still do for me, and like I'm legitimately appreciative. And that is like, I don't know, that's just like a whole different level feeling that like, you know, I'm sure she paid you to do the tattoo, and I'm sure paying bills is nice, but that hug is like so much more, to just be like, this is fucking rad. I really impacted a life, and I made a real friend. And it's not just a, oh yeah, they're my homie, they come through and get tattooed, we laugh about, you know, football or whatever. Like, I don't know, it's just so real and just so cool to like hit that level. And I've watched you tattoo, I've got to see it a few times, and like, you tattooed Alexis, who I love, and she's my baby sister, and she is so quiet. Like, even on that trip to Florida, we talked a lot, but like, she would kind of talk and then just kind of zone and stare out the window for 30 minutes of driving, and then kind of tune back in and we'd chat. And you had her opening up while you were tattooing her in a way that even you couldn't get her to open up when not tattooing her. It's just like, it just click and it just came. And it's such a cool feeling to know that we can do that and like be authentic and not be just doing it to be cool, or like I said, not trying to sell something. Oh, I'm your homie and I care because you're paying me to tattoo, but just to be authentic. And I don't know, it's such a good feeling.
No, seriously, dude. And like, that's one of the things with starting the coaching company. One of my coaches told me, he's like, dude, he says, I look at your Instagram and it's either tattooing or coaching. And he's like, dude, you have to stop separating. He's like, you are both, and you are always both. And like, stepping into that, and like, because that's why I'm good at getting people to open up, because I'm a decent coach, right? Like, you know, and like,
I will have to say, and I need to record a video saying this because you had asked me to, but it's definitely one of those things where I will absolutely say that you are a good coach, because it doesn't feel like you are coaching to get a video of me telling you how great you are. It never felt like you were somebody that's coaching others to get their money. It's that authenticity level of, you are someone that cares, and you happen to just be able to make money caring, which is awesome. But that was never, I have been in other coaching programs, I've been through some other stuff, seminars, sat with other people that I am like, you give the absolute highest level of fucks about me until that program is over. And then when that money is not there anymore, it's like, you are a ghost. And it is, you can tell certain people the level of authenticity or the level of what a money grab it can be. You are not that. And so I think that's one of those things where, when money was never the stressor in the first place, people aren't, like I said, it takes the salesmanship out of it. They're not, oh, well, Robbie's trying to get my money, he's trying to get me to pay him to tattoo me, so I guess I'll, you know, open up or whatever. Like, it's just like, no, Robbie is just my dude. Your guy came and got tattooed by you, and it wasn't even ever a question of like, well, how much or what do I do? He's just like, I need a vent, and you're like, come fucking hop in the chair, dude, then. And
right.
There he
Right.
is. And
And
when
then,
you can take that money and that salesmanship out of it, like there's definitely better healing, there's better laughing, there's better friendship, but like it speaks volumes about who you are, who a lot of us are, that's not the motivation and nobody thinks it is. They can see through that
Yeah.
and know that you're being real.
right. Well, I hate being sold. I hate being manipulated. Uh, and part of like hating being sold is I just don't want to be a number. Don't stripper me. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
don't pretend you love me just to get my money. You know, if you can't truly love me, let me fucking know right up front. I'll still give you my money if I want the product. You know, and one of the things I'm learning in the coaching space, there's a lot of people making millions of dollars, and like a lot of them don't give a shit. And I could never be the guy that got filthy stinking rich by not caring about people, because like I care so much. So if I can make some money while I care and change some lives while doing it, great. But like if I'm making money and pretending and then I feel gross and dirty at night, that's not okay, and that's not who I be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a weird tactic, but you can tell when it happens. Anytime you see any of those, I love, like, if you looked at my Instagram, it's literally nothing but tattoos, cats and cat adjacent animals. There's a lot of like duck videos on Instagram now for some reason. And then the third one is I love following the accounts that show videos of just good things happening. Like if you ever show me a video of when a baby gets like the cochlear implant and they can hear for the first time, I will both stand up and applaud and weep like a grown ass child. I love those videos, but there is such a separation between videos of genuinely good moments caught on video and videos of it'll be like a guy that like pretends to drop money and a homeless guy finds it and gives it back to him and he's like, well, since you had such a good heart to give it to me, I want you to keep it. And I'm like, who the fuck is filming this and why? Like,
Yeah.
you did this
You.
to do it. And I definitely know people that their whole Instagram presence, their whole life presence, the way that they show up is, here are these professional photos of me. Here are these videos of me saying these rehearsed lines. Here's these videos of me doing these things. Here's these stories of how great I am. And it turns into this thing where I'm like, I don't think any of this is true. And if you have a product, like you said, if they had a product I wanted and they were just out the gate, like, I make dope ass tattoo inks, you should try them because they're dope. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll try them. Fucking A. But if it's a whole fucking production, it's different. Your headshots for everything are just you holding your leg and smiling. And I think it's something to be said for you, who you are, but also that thing you said earlier about like people feel like they can be their authentic self around you because you present yourself as your authentic self. And they know, I've seen Robbie vulnerable. I've seen Robbie crying. I've seen Robbie laughing. I've seen every facet of you that even like Amber, we've never met in person, and just seeing you on this and talking to you, I'm like, okay, she's legit as fuck. If I ever met you, I'd give you a big ass hug and know right off the rip that you're going to let me hug you because you're an awesome person.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be authentic and fun, the same way like the most viral thing I've ever been in on Instagram was that stupid video of me dancing at that 80s night in Akron after the Rubber City convention. But how many people have approached me and they're like, you're just a fucking goofy dude. I would have thought anybody else was like, oh, look at me, I'm whimsical. They're like, you're legit just a goofy fucking weirdo and you like to dance and you like to do these things. And it immediately takes their layer down that they're like, okay, I know I'm dealing with another flawed human. I know I'm dealing with another goofball. I'll just be a fucking goofball too. That's why even when you came to Dayton and I first met you, within 10 minutes of talking to you, I was like, all right, this guy's been on Ink Master. He's a fucking rad tattoo artist. He owns his own shop. I'm going to, be myself, but probably tone it back just a little bit and be professional and be courteous. And within 10 minutes of talking to you, I gave you a big ass hug and I was just fucking spouting off about whatever. I was like, nah, he's cool. I can be me. We're good.
So, I mean, that's part of the reason why we're flamingos too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I keep it light. I keep it fun on purpose because I can be really dark. I can be really depressing. I can be really depressed. I can be really angry. When my focus is on the wrong fucking thing, watch out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not good
Yeah.
for anybody. So with all the self-improvement and all the personal development stuff I've done in the past bunch of years, I've realized, oh, okay, so it isn't bullshit when they say, you know, the 5 people you spend the most time around is, you know, you are the sum of that. And it isn't bullshit when they say, you know, what you focus on and what you think about regularly is what you produce.
Yeah.
Because when I'm a cranky fuck, when I'm a bag of misery, I just produce more cranky fucking bag of misery shit. But like I had this weird time with myself recently where I hired the 2 artists at the same time. Was it in class that happened, or was it on this show that happened?
I think it was on this show.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Oh no, conflicting reports.
So yeah, because I got the 2 texts like back to back. I got one right before, I got one during.
Mm.
So, you know, I was like, wow, if I was able to manifest artists that get it, that want to work at Rad Inc., why am I not able to manifest everything else that I want? Oh, it's because I'm standing in my fucking way. And instead of having this like, fuck you battle with myself, it was more of, I can change this. So why don't I? And one of the things was getting the clients at the rates that I was worried I couldn't get them at. Instead of being like, oh, I can't get them at these rates. No, there's people out there that need me. And that's why I brought up, you know, the coaching and tattooing, because now like everyone that I talk to about advertising soul sessions for tattooing, they're all like, wow, that's really cool. Even people that have been tattooed by me before, they're like, wow, that's really cool. And I'm like, you know, like you've lived through this, right? And they're like, oh yeah, that's true. Wow, that's really cool. So, so it's really interesting to see that like, all you have to do is just do and focus on the right things. And then things are okay. Things are all right. And things go your fucking way. Granted, they don't always go the way you want them to all the time. They don't always go the way you think they're going to, but the outcome is always, I'm okay. And a lot of the time it's, I'm better than okay.
Yeah.
So if we can just focus on being better than okay and being all right with that, and knowing that X amount of dollars is in the bank account, knowing that X amount of love is coming our way every single day, knowing that we have X amount of ability to handle all the bullshit that fucking comes our way. And like this one dude, he's in one of the coaching programs I'm in. We were talking one day and he's like, listen, kid, look, guy, here it is. I wake up with fucking problems. So if I wake up with problems and I let them kill me, well, my day's fucked. But if I wake up with problems and I know I'm going to get through them, then shit, things are all right. Because I mean, really, like problems are always there, but it's how we deal with them. It's truly like how you react to things is what shapes your life. And I fucking fought that for so long. So many old adages I fought for so long, but really at the end of the day, they're all pretty kind of true. And that's why they've been around timelessly. So, yeah. Yeah.
There's an old adage, and I'm going to butcher it. I'm pretty sure it's what you fear at night in the day will come to call anyways, or anyhow, or something like that. And it's basically that idea, like shit's gonna happen. It's kind of like with Donna and the teeth. It's like, okay, are you going to stress about it the whole time? Like, regardless of anything, you're going, the dude's going to yank them. And it's always the times that we stress the most that turn out to be the most chill, that you're like, I don't know why I was stressed about that. And it's always the ones that you're like, in and out, that turn out to just be a horrible shit show. But like, that was going to happen regardless. So it's that same, you know, if you can take the idea of knowing that the love is there and that the money's there and that maybe you're down right now, maybe you wake up with problems, but like you're gonna fix them, and combine it with that thought of like, the shit's gonna happen anyways. Don't stress up until the point of, at least enjoy life until it comes.
Right.
If you can put those two things together, you're unstoppable.
Right. Right.
Besides, being stressed all the time is so exhausting.
So
exhausting. Get it.
And like when you can be where Dusty just said, it's actually a lot less work.
Yes.
There's always this like level of I'm going to be okay that you've got there, rather than, oh my God, I'm panicked. Let me go all the way down the panic rabbit hole just so I can fucking fight my way back out of it, just to be at ground level again. So yeah, holding on to the fact that everything's okay all the time. It's a hard place.
If you look at your phone at like your top 5 emojis, like they always have those ones listed first that you use. One of my top 5 at all times is like the shrugging white girl emoji, the like K whatever, because people constantly like, well, what if this, what if that, and I'll just send that like, oh, what if, like, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, there's certain things you should prepare for in life, like you just went through all the hurricane stuff. Yeah, you should probably have some hurricane prep. It's a natural disaster that's likely to happen in your neighborhood. The same way that I live in the Midwest, we get hit with tornadoes. You should probably have a contingency plan, but there's a big difference between, okay, I know what to do if there's a fire, and every single day checking the battery in your smoke detector and freaking out that there could potentially be a fire. Like, you've got to draw that line of just like, it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live my life.
Well, it's back to what you said about creating chaos for yourself when it's not there. You know, some people are not prepared for those things, so the chaos can hit them and they can be a victim. And poor me, this is so terrible. When really the truth of it is, all you got to do is just fucking buy a couple flashlights, have some canned food on fucking deck, you know, freeze some water bottles, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now you can make it through your catastrophe. So
worst, hope for the best, but once you're prepared, let that shit coast. Don't stress every day.
Yeah.
Totally.
And some stuff you just can't. I mean, fingers crossed, heaven forbid, knock on the wooden floor here, but you know, if I walking out of the shop after this and I slip and break my ankle, like, there was nothing that could be done about that. But you can't live in that fear that that thing's constantly going to happen. The best you can do is be like, okay, well, I'm laid up in the hospital for a while. How do we, you know, get better? What do we do? But you just can't constantly live in fear all the time of everything and create, like you said, it's just, stress is exhausting. Like,
yes.
And there's no quality of life there anyways. That if everything was great and we all with modern technology live to be 150, which I hope we do, you know, are we going to look back and be like, okay, I had an awesome life. I did these conventions, I tattooed, I had kids, I had family, I had all these awesome things. Or is it going to be like, man, I spent that whole last time stressing about what's next and I learned zero.
Yeah.
One of the blessings of losing my leg is I was unhappy about my timeline because I saw so much of it that I was unhappy about in the process. And I'm like, well, now you're in a motherfucking hospital bed, you dickhead. And you couldn't appreciate all this other stuff when it was happening to you. You don't want this to be your whole life story. So now I've learned to enjoy and appreciate rather than denounce and debilitate and hate and be miserable and be sad and victimize myself. So yeah, it's a ride. It's a fucking ride that we're on every day.
It is one hell of a roller coaster.
It is. And right now we're at the top. We're enjoying ourselves.
Yes.
And we'll all be there for each other when we're plummeting to the ground again.
I love the roller coaster analogy because nobody is ever excitedly screaming when you're slowly going up. It's always the big drop that you're like, yeah, fun. And it's such an analogy for what we were all just talking about that it seems like it's almost like there's more hustling and busyness in the fall and being like, the panic mode is almost more exciting. And then you're kind of, oh, I'm going back up to the top. Okay. Yeah, it's fun. And then you hit the top and there's excitement and then you drop again and you're like, all right, purpose again. So it is such an awful and yet perfectly fitting analogy for like, yeah, we're all just excited for the chaos.
Right. Damn.
I think the chaos teaches us who we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good art always has contrast, right?
Yes.
Nobody's funny if everybody's funny.
Yeah. Nobody's special if everybody's special.
We're special and unique, just like everyone else.
Right. In our own unique ways.
Yep.
Well, fuck. I think we're gonna wrap it up today because we never end this on time. And
Perfect.
I think
Yeah,
Renee.
that was quick too.
Yeah, it did. It did. For not having a direction.
Yeah.
We kind of rolled through it pretty fast. But yeah, Amber, thanks again for being our honorary third host. Always
No
love seeing you
problem.
here.
It's my favorite thing about Mondays.
I love hearing that. That makes me so happy. Dusty, thank you always for being here, man. I always love your perspectives. And, you know,
See you in person in a couple days too.
I know, dude. And if things go right, we're gonna go and kill some zombies in the zombie paintball bus. And
Oh,
I
shoot a
told
few
Aura
for
about
me.
it. They're super stoked.
dude, it's so exciting. So yeah, fucking. Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, Josh and Aura are gonna be here too. So it'll be rad. Fuck yeah. So we'll have quite the crew going to kill zombies, and there's like 400 or 500 houses there. It's really cool. You want to look
Oh,
at it?
nice.
Yeah, it's called Screamageddon. Some podunk ass town in fucking Florida somewhere. But it's fucking rad. But yeah,
Sounds like the perfect place to set up some haunted houses.
oh yeah, it's awesome. They got like big container structures, like the shipping containers. Like
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I could imagine it's like a permanent setup year round because like it's
Yeah.
pretty wild. But yeah, they got a little courtyard and they got food and drinks everywhere. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, so much love to you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. To the viewers, thank you so much. To Guy Aitchison, Gabe Ripley, and all the Reinventing family, thank you all so much for giving us a place to talk about feelings and let other people know that we can do this feelings stuff. On the vein of feelings, I am launching another Rad Motherfucker Academy, Rad Academy powered by the Magical Motherfucker Method. That class is going to be starting in November after the first class ends. So anyone listening, anyone watching, if you're interested in being a part of that, hit me up on the social medias, Robbie Ripoll everywhere, and let's change your life. That'll be fun. So everyone, thank you, and love seeing you guys. Love knowing that the other humans are here, and yeah, see you guys next time.
You guys have a great night.
You